That small tremor of doubt when you stand up, the flicker of fear when you face a staircase, the quiet worry that your legs won't carry you through the life you want to live. This is not about vanity. It's about freedom. Most people will accept weakness as a tragic but normal part of aging. They'll never know the truth. But the hidden saboteurs on your fruit plate are accelerating this process, and missing the final section of this video will mean misunderstanding how to turn this entire story around, forfeiting decades of strong, independent living. Hidden weakness. The conversation about aging often revolves around the visible signs, the lines on our skin, the gray in our hair. But there is a much more profound and largely invisible process taking place within our bodies that dictates our quality of life more than any other factor. It's the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function, a condition scientists call sarcopenia. This is not simply about being unable to lift heavy things. This is about the very essence of your independence. Your leg strength in particular is one of the most powerful predictors of your health span. The number of years you will live in good health, free from chronic disease and disability. Strong legs mean you can rise from a chair with ease, climb stairs with confidence, walk to the store, play with your grandchildren, and, most critically, recover your balance from a potential fall. A simple stumble for a person with strong legs is a minor event. For someone with sarcopenia, it can be a life-altering catastrophe. For too long, we have accepted this muscular decline as a sad but unavoidable consequence of time. We've been told it's just what happens, but this narrative is incomplete, and frankly, it is disempowering. The science is now irrefutably clear that while aging plays a role, sarcopenia is dramatically accelerated by our lifestyle choices, with our diet being a chief contributor. And this is where the story takes a surprising turn. We are going to talk about fruit. Yes, fruit. The very food group we have been taught to see as universally healthy, a symbol of nature's goodness. And while many fruits are indeed powerful allies for our health, certain types, and more importantly, certain ways of consuming fruit, are secretly sabotaging the very systems your body relies on to maintain strong, functional muscles as you age. This isn't about demonizing nature. It is about understanding it with a new level of scientific sophistication. The problem lies in how our modern food environment has changed fruit. We have bred fruits for maximum sweetness. We have processed them into juices and concentrates, stripping away the fiber that is their natural safeguard. We consume them in quantities and forms that our ancestors never would have, flooding our systems with a type of sugar that, in high doses, becomes a primary driver of the very conditions that destroy muscle tissue, chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and cellular damage. The good news in all of this is that knowledge is power. By understanding the specific mechanisms through which these seemingly innocent foods can cause harm, you can reclaim control. This journey isn't about creating a list of forbidden foods to make you feel guilty. It's about providing you with a new lens through which to see your plate, allowing you to make simple, intelligent swaps that protect your strength, preserve your mobility, and secure your independence for the decades to come. Sugar's shadow. To understand how fruit can betray our strength, we first need to talk about sugar. Not all sugars are created equal. The sugar most prevalent in fruit is fructose. In its natural context, locked within the fibrous cell walls of a whole fruit, fructose is released slowly into our system. It is part of a package deal that includes water, vitamins, minerals, and crucially, fiber. This fiber acts as a brake, slowing down sugar absorption and feeding our beneficial gut bacteria. However, our modern diet has broken this natural contract. Through selective breeding, we've created super sweet, low-fiber versions of many fruits. And more significantly, we process fruits into forms that deliver a massive, rapid-fire dose of fructose, completely divorced from its fibrous packaging. I'm talking about fruit juice, fruit concentrates used to sweeten other foods, and large quantities of dried fruit. When you consume fructose in this form, it overwhelms your system. Unlike glucose, which can be used by almost every cell in your body for energy, the vast majority of fructose has to be processed by your liver. When your liver is hit with a tidal wave of fructose, it can't handle it all. It does the only thing it can. It starts converting that excess fructose into fat. This process, called de novo lipogenesis, leads to the buildup of fat in and around your liver, a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But the damage doesn't stop there. This process also creates byproducts like uric acid and free radicals that spill out into the rest of your body, driving a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. And this inflammation is a direct enemy of your muscles. It sends signals to your muscle tissue to break down and resist growth. Simultaneously, this overload of sugar can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells, including your muscle cells, stop responding properly to the hormone insulin. Insulin's job is to usher glucose out of the blood and into the cells to be used for energy. When your muscle cells become insulin resistant, they are essentially starving for energy. Even when there's plenty of sugar in the blood, they cannot get the fuel they need to repair and rebuild themselves. So, a dietary pattern high in unbound fructose from these specific sources creates a perfect storm for sarcopenia. It promotes chronic inflammation that actively degrades muscle, and it causes insulin resistance that starves the muscle of the energy it needs to grow. It is a 1-2 punch that silently and systematically dismantles your leg strength. This is why the conversation is not as simple as fruit is good or fruit is bad. The context is everything. A single whole apple with its fiber intact is a world away from a 12-ounce glass of apple juice, which might contain the sugar equivalent of 4 or 5 apples with none of the fiber. It is this concentrated, high-speed delivery of sugar that casts a long, destructive shadow over your muscular health. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward choosing fruits and forms of fruit that build you up instead of breaking you down. Circulatory crisis. Strong muscles require more than just protein and a signal to grow. They need a rich and steady supply of oxygen, nutrients, and hormones, and they need a way to efficiently clear out metabolic waste. This entire critical supply chain is managed by your network of blood vessels. This is your angiogenesis health defense system in action. For your leg muscles to remain strong and functional, especially as you age, they need a dense, healthy web of capillaries delivering life-sustaining blood. When you exercise, even just by walking, your muscles send out signals calling for more blood flow, and in a healthy body, this system responds beautifully. This healthy blood flow is essential for muscle repair and growth. Without it, your muscles simply cannot get the resources they need to maintain themselves, let alone get stronger. They begin to atrophy, not from lack of use, but from a literal supply chain crisis at the cellular level. This is another area where a diet high in concentrated sugars, particularly from the wrong fruit sources, wreaks havoc. The same process that drives insulin resistance and inflammation also inflicts serious damage on the delicate lining of your blood vessels, an area known as the endothelium. High blood sugar is directly toxic to these endothelial cells. It makes them stiff, inflamed, and unable to produce a critical molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what tells your blood vessels to relax and dilate, allowing more blood to flow through. When nitric oxide production drops, your blood vessels become constricted and rigid. Think of it like a plumbing system where the pipes are slowly becoming narrower and less flexible. The flow is reduced to a trickle. For the large muscles in your legs, this is a devastating blow. They are being choked off from their vital supply of oxygen and nutrients. This is a vicious cycle. As blood flow decreases, the muscles get weaker. Weaker muscles mean you are less inclined to be active, and less activity further signals the body to prune back blood vessels in the muscles, worsening the problem. This is a primary, yet often overlooked, mechanism behind age-related muscle loss. It's not just the muscle itself, it's the entire support infrastructure that's failing. The good news is that this process is reversible. We can make dietary choices that protect and even restore the health of our blood vessels. By avoiding the high fructose, low fiber fruit choices that damage our endothelium, we can halt this circulatory crisis. And by choosing other foods that actively support healthy angiogenesis and boost nitric oxide production, we can reopen those critical supply lines. Protecting your circulation is synonymous with protecting your strength. The lifeblood of your muscles flows through these vessels, and the choices you make on your plate every day determine whether that flow is a powerful river or a depleted stream. Repair deficit. Our bodies are in a constant state of flux, of breaking down and rebuilding. Your muscles are a prime example of this dynamic process. Every movement you make, from standing up to taking a walk, creates microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. This is normal and, in fact, necessary. In response to this minor damage, your body launches a repair process. This is where your third health defense system, regeneration, comes into play. It is orchestrated by your own adult stem cells, which reside in and around your muscle tissue. When damage is detected, these remarkable cells are activated. They multiply and then fuse with the damaged muscle fibers, not just repairing them, but making them slightly stronger and more resilient than they were before. This is the fundamental process of how muscles are maintained and built. For you to keep your leg strength as you age, this repair and regeneration system must be firing on all cylinders. However, the perfect storm of inflammation and insulin resistance we've discussed creates a severe repair deficit. It throws a wrench into this beautifully orchestrated process. The chronic, low-grade inflammation that we now know is fueled by high-sugar diets does more than just promote muscle breakdown. It actively suppresses the function of your muscle stem cells. It's like trying to have a construction crew work efficiently in the middle of a 5-alarm fire. The environment is simply too hostile and chaotic. The stem cell's ability to activate, multiply, and repair the damaged tissue is severely blunted. The signals get crossed, the resources are mismanaged, and the repair work that is so crucial for maintaining strength either doesn't happen at all or happens very poorly. This means those normal microscopic tears from daily activity are not adequately repaired. Over time, instead of leading to stronger muscles, this process leads to a net loss of muscle tissue. The deficit grows. Furthermore, remember how insulin resistance starves the muscle cells of energy? This starvation also affects the stem cells themselves. They require a great deal of energy to do their job of regeneration. When their fuel supply is choked off, their regenerative capacity plummets. They become sluggish and ineffective. So, when you consistently choose high sugar juices, dried fruits, or massive portions of supersweet fruits, you are creating an internal environment that actively works against your body's innate ability to repair itself. You are undercutting your own internal construction crew. To preserve your leg's strength, you must create an internal environment that supports and nurtures this regenerative process. This means controlling inflammation and ensuring your cells have the energy they need. It involves making dietary choices that foster repair, not decay. It's about ensuring that for every bit of natural breakdown, there is an equal or greater amount of rebuilding, allowing your muscles to remain powerful and responsive for a lifetime. Inflammatory fire. Let us dive deeper into what is arguably the most destructive force against your muscles as you age: chronic inflammation. We must distinguish this from the acute inflammation that is a healthy and necessary part of healing. If you sprain your ankle, the immediate swelling and warmth are signs your immune system is rushing resources to the area to repair the damage. That's good. The problem is chronic, low-grade, systemic inflammation, an internal fire that is constantly smoldering throughout your body. This type of inflammation is not your friend. It is a slow, silent process that corrodes your health from the inside out, and your muscles are one of its primary targets. This smoldering fire is a hallmark of an immune system that is out of balance, and a chief cause of this imbalance is, once again, a diet high in sugar and low in fiber, a pattern exemplified by the overconsumption of certain fruit products. The central command hub for this inflammatory fire is your gut microbiome, another one of your critical health defense systems. The trillions of bacteria living in your gut play a profound role in training and regulating your immune system. When you feed your gut a diverse array of fiber-rich foods, you promote the growth of beneficial bacteria. These good bugs produce compounds like short-chain fatty acids that are powerfully anti-inflammatory. They send calming signals to your immune system, keeping it balanced and intelligent. However, when you bombard your gut with a diet high in sugar, including the massive fructose load from juices and concentrates, and low in fiber, you are providing the perfect food for the bad bugs. You are selectively breeding pro-inflammatory species of bacteria. These harmful microbes, in turn, can damage the lining of your gut, making it leaky. This allows bacterial fragments to cross into your bloodstream, which your immune system rightfully sees as an invasion. This perceived invasion triggers a full-blown immune alert, not just in one place, but throughout your entire body. The alarm bells of inflammation start ringing everywhere. This systemic inflammatory state has a devastating catabolic effect on muscle tissue. Inflammatory molecules called cytokines directly signal your muscles to break down. Essentially, your own immune system begins to actively dismantle your muscle fibers. It's a form of friendly fire, a tragic miscommunication driven by a poor diet. So, that daily glass of orange juice or that handful of sweetened dried cranberries isn't just a dose of sugar. It's a meal for the pro-inflammatory microbes in your gut. It is fuel for the inflammatory fire that is actively working to weaken your legs. To preserve your strength, you must quench this fire. This requires a profound dietary shift towards starving the bad bugs and feeding the good ones. It means prioritizing fiber-rich, whole foods that nurture an anti-inflammatory gut microbiome, thereby calming your immune system and protecting your precious muscle from this relentless, invisible assault. Problematic patterns. Now it is time to name names, but with a crucial clarification. The issue is rarely the whole fruit itself, eaten in moderation. The issue is the pattern of consumption, the processing, the quantity, and the displacement of other vital nutrients. These 7 fruits are stand-ins for 7 problematic patterns that systematically destroy leg strength in seniors. Let's unmask them. The first is not a fruit, but a form: fruit juice. Whether it's orange, apple, or grape, juice is fruit stripped of its soul, the fiber. It delivers a stunningly high dose of fructose directly to your liver, triggering the inflammatory cascade we've discussed. Drinking a large glass of juice is metabolically closer to drinking a soda than to eating a whole piece of fruit. The second pattern is represented by dried fruits, particularly those like dates, raisins, and sweetened cranberries. While they contain some nutrients, drying concentrates the sugar dramatically. A small handful of raisins contains a surprising amount of sugar, and without the high water content of whole grapes, it's very easy to overconsume them, leading to a blood sugar spike that harms muscle cells. The third problem pattern comes from high glycemic tropical fruits in large quantities. Think of a giant bowl of very ripe pineapple, mango, or a huge serving of watermelon. While delicious and nutritious in small amounts, their high sugar content and relatively lower fiber, especially when very ripe, can lead to a rapid increase in blood sugar if eaten in excess. The key here is portion control, which is often lost in our culture of more is better. The fourth is canned fruit in syrup. This one is obvious. The fruit, which may already be a higher sugar variety, is bathed in a solution of pure sugar water, doubling down on the damage. The syrup delivers a massive, unhealthy sugar load with no redeeming value, directly fueling inflammation and insulin resistance. The fifth pattern is fruit smoothies loaded with sugar. A smoothie can be a health food, but a common mistake is to blend multiple servings of high-sugar fruits, like bananas and mangoes, with fruit juice as a base. This creates a fructose bomb that can have the same damaging metabolic effects as a glass of juice, even with the fiber pulverized. The sixth pattern is the seemingly healthy fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt. Most commercially available fruit yogurts are dessert in disguise. The fruit preparation at the bottom is often a jam-like concoction loaded with added sugars and fruit concentrates, far exceeding the sugar content of the plain yogurt itself. This combination negates the benefits of the probiotic yogurt by fueling the pro-inflammatory gut bacteria. Finally, the seventh problematic pattern is represented by the overconsumption of grapes. While grapes contain beneficial compounds like resveratrol, modern table grapes have been bred to be exceptionally sweet and are often eaten mindlessly by the handful. Their small size and lack of significant fiber per grape make it incredibly easy to consume a very large sugar load without feeling full, contributing to the very metabolic issues that undermine muscle strength. Recognizing these patterns, not fearing the fruits themselves, is the key to protecting your power. Strength saviors? Now that we have identified the problematic patterns, let us pivot to the most important part of this journey, the joyous addition of foods that actively build and protect your leg strength. This is about making smart, delicious swaps. It's about populating your plate with strength savior fruits that offer a bounty of benefits with minimal downside. These are fruits that are generally lower in sugar, higher in fiber, and packed with the specific bioactives that support your body's health defense systems. First and foremost, we must celebrate the entire family of berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries are the undisputed champions. They are relatively low in sugar and packed with fiber, but their real magic comes from their deep, rich colors. These pigments, called anthocyanins, are incredibly potent antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. They directly counteract the oxidative stress and inflammatory fire that break down muscle tissue, and they help protect the delicate lining of your blood vessels, ensuring good circulation to your legs. Next on our list of saviors is the humble kiwi fruit. A kiwi is a microbiome superstar. It is a fantastic source of both soluble and insoluble fiber, but it also contains specific prebiotic compounds that are exceptionally good at feeding our beneficial gut bacteria, like the anti-inflammatory Fiacalobacterium prausnitzii. By nurturing a healthy gut garden, kiwi fruit helps to quench the systemic inflammation that sabotages muscle strength. Enjoying 1 or 2 kiwis a day is a powerful strategy for gut and muscle health. Our third savior may surprise you, the avocado. Yes, botanically, it is a fruit. Avocados are very low in sugar and loaded with healthy monounsaturated fats that are anti-inflammatory. They are also an excellent source of potassium, a mineral crucial for proper muscle function and contraction, and magnesium, which is involved in muscle relaxation and energy production. Furthermore, they are packed with fiber to support your microbiome. Our fourth savior is the mighty pomegranate. Pomegranate, especially its seeds, called arils, is a circulation powerhouse. It contains unique compounds called punicolagens that have been shown to improve blood vessel health and boost the body's production of nitric oxide. This helps your blood vessels relax, improving blood flow and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your hardworking leg muscles. It directly addresses the circulatory crisis we spoke of earlier. Lastly, let's include fruits from the citrus family like grapefruit and oranges when eaten whole. The key is to consume the entire fruit, including the fibrous membranes between the segments. This white pith is rich in bioflavonoids that work synergistically with vitamin C to support immune health and blood vessel integrity. By consciously shifting your fruit choices away from the high sugar, low fiber patterns and toward these strength saviors, you are not just avoiding harm, you are actively investing in the biological systems that will keep you strong, stable, and mobile for life. Building blocks. While making intelligent fruit choices is a cornerstone of protecting your leg strength, we must also place it in the context of a complete nutritional strategy. Fruits are part of the team, but they aren't the whole team. To truly build and maintain muscle mass, especially after 65, we need to ensure we are providing all the necessary building blocks. The most obvious and essential building block is adequate protein. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing protein to stimulate muscle growth, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means seniors often need more protein than their younger counterparts just to maintain muscle mass. It is crucial to distribute this protein intake throughout the day, including in your morning meal, to constantly provide your muscles with the amino acids they need for repair. While lean animal sources can be effective, a diet rich in plant-based proteins from lentils, beans, chickpeas, tofu, nuts, and seeds is also a fantastic strategy, as these foods bring the added benefits of fiber and phytonutrients that combat inflammation. Another critical building block, often overlooked, is magnesium. This mineral is a true unsung hero of muscle health. It is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including muscle contraction and relaxation, nerve function, and protein synthesis. A deficiency in magnesium can lead to muscle cramps, weakness, and impaired function. Unfortunately, many people do not get enough. Wonderful dietary sources of magnesium include leafy green vegetables like spinach, nuts, especially almonds and cashews, seeds, pumpkin and chia seeds are powerhouses, and legumes. Consciously including these magnesium-rich foods in your daily diet is a non-negotiable for anyone serious about maintaining leg strength and overall mobility. Without sufficient magnesium, your muscles simply cannot function at their best. Finally, we cannot forget the role of healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids. We have touched on their anti-inflammatory power, but it bears repeating. Chronic inflammation is a direct catabolic force on muscle. Omega-3s, found abundantly in fatty fish like salmon and sardines, as well as in plant sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, are nature's most potent anti-inflammatory agents. They work to cool that internal fire that is so destructive to muscle tissue. Integrating these healthy fats into your diet helps to shift your body's internal environment from one that is pro-inflammatory and muscle-wasting to one that is anti-inflammatory and muscle-preserving. When you combine these essential building blocks, adequate protein, sufficient magnesium, and anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats, with the wise fruit choices we have discussed, you create a powerful nutritional framework that provides your body with everything it needs to defend, repair, and strengthen your muscles, empowering you to walk through life with confidence and vigor. Synergistic strength. Now we arrive at the most beautiful and empowering part of this entire framework, the principle of food synergy. The true magic in building and preserving your leg strength for a lifetime does not come from isolating one perfect nutrient or avoiding one bad fruit. It comes from the synergistic symphony you create on your plate, meal after meal, day after day. It is how these carefully chosen foods work together, amplifying each other's benefits to create an effect far greater than any single ingredient could produce on its own. Let's assemble a strength-preserving day of eating to see how this incredible synergy unfolds, integrating everything we have learned. For breakfast, you start with a bowl of plain Greek yogurt, providing a fantastic base of probiotics and high-quality protein. You top this with a handful of vibrant blueberries, your strength savior fruit, which delivers anti-inflammatory anthocyanins. Then you add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed for its fiber and omega-3s, and a sprinkle of walnuts for their healthy fats and DNA protective properties. In this one bowl, you have protein for muscle building, probiotics for gut health, omega-3s and anthocyanins to fight inflammation, and fiber to feed your good bacteria. Every component supports the others. For lunch, imagine a large salad with a bed of dark, leafy greens like spinach, a source of that crucial magnesium. You add a scoop of chickpeas for plant-based protein and fiber. You toss in some sliced avocado for its healthy fats, potassium, and creamy texture. The dressing is a simple vinaigrette made with extra virgin olive oil, another source of potent anti-inflammatory compounds. With this meal, you are providing your body with a diverse array of phytonutrients and minerals, all working together to create an anti-inflammatory, muscle-supportive environment. You are fueling your body with clean energy and the raw materials for repair without the blood sugar spike that can damage muscle tissue over time. This meal actively builds your resilience. For dinner, you have a modest portion of baked salmon, providing a powerful dose of those muscle-preserving omega-3 fatty acids and high-quality protein. Alongside it, you have a serving of steamed broccoli, rich in sulforaphane to support detoxification, and a side of quinoa, a complete protein that also offers fiber and magnesium. And for a hydrating, health-promoting beverage throughout the day, you sip on green tea, which we know helps to maintain the health and flexibility of your blood vessels, ensuring that all these wonderful nutrients can be efficiently delivered to your muscles. This is not a diet. This is a strategy. Do you see how it all connects? The omega-3s from the salmon help to quell the inflammation that the berries are also fighting. The fiber from the chickpeas supports the microbiome that the yogurt introduced. The magnesium from the spinach helps the protein from the salmon build muscle. This synergistic approach is the key. It creates a robust, multifaceted defense that protects your strength from every angle, empowering you to live not just a longer life, but a stronger one. Your future is not written in stone. It is written in the daily choices you make, in the conscious, deliberate habits you cultivate. The strength in your legs is a direct reflection of the wisdom on your plate. It is the freedom to move, to explore, to engage with the world on your own terms. By moving away from dietary patterns that create a crisis within and embracing a symphony of foods that heal, protect, and build, you are not just preventing weakness. You are actively choosing strength. You are sending a clear, powerful message to your body every single day. We are not declining, we are rebuilding. This is the quiet, profound revolution that secures not only your health, but your liberty. This was a major eye-opener for me. I always thought, a fruit is a fruit. Be honest, which of the problematic patterns were you most surprised to see on the list?